Respect the place that you call home. Respect the land in which you roam. Respect the country you were born. Let's take it back. Respect reform. Hold on to freedom, hold on to hope. Don't give them slack, don't give them rope. Don't walk and hang your head in shame. Be proud, stand tall, and we will reign.
Hey guys, welcome to A Conversation with Neil Stevens, episode 57. And we're streaming live from the great city of Exeter. And roles and responsibilities. Now, Neil is the host of this show, and he's also the county councillor from Alphington and Cowick. And I'm his second banana. My name is Rob Sheridan. I'm Neil's companion in some aspects of life. Don't go there.
Bad. I'm not married.
That sounds quite bad, doesn't it, when you say that?
And I'm supposed to be the guy that laughs at all his jokes sometimes, okay? Anyway, so we've got two great people that are joining us here tonight. One is, of course, Neil's great brother, Tony Stevens.
Yeah, back by popular request.
Yeah, he's a county councillor from...
St Thomas and Exwick, Rob.
Thank you very much. And we've got a really great guest as well, Nick Williams. Nick is Exeter City Councilman from the Priory Ward and newly elected, another one of the many councillors from the Reform Party. So welcome, everybody. So without further ado, here's Neil Stevens.
You like doing that, don't you?
There's a build-up there.
I just want to clarify, I'm not married to him. He lives next door to me, and sometimes he has caught me in with not all my clothes on, but he hasn't caught me naked yet. But
he's trying,
because I
though.
work all different hours. And tonight's quite an interesting show. So we've mentioned Nick. We have another councillor in the background who's basically
Very shy.
Not shy, but he's listening and he wants to come on the show next time. But it was an interesting conversation we just had just now with Nick. He's only turned up about 5 minutes ago, and we are a team. What are we trying to do? We're trying to basically work together. And Nick pointed out there is a divide, not between Nick and I and Anthony or Tony. There's a divide between Exeter City Council and Devon County Council. But tonight, right, it's going to be very interesting. So what we're going to do, we're looking at the week in the life of your local
Oh my gosh.
county and local councillors. Now, Nat Vanstone, you've let me down. Okay, I know he has.
He never lets you down.
Now, Nat is a legend to himself, but he has personal things he have to resolve at home.
Not everybody can make this every night, every Thursday night, right? So
No, and Nat, my heart goes out to you, and I hopefully your personal circumstances. I say reach out to your mum, and I'm glad that she is recovering from whatever, and but you need to get your bum back on this seat. We're missing you, and it's not the same without you. That's my verdict on that, Nick. But
True.
It'd be interesting to see how you handle yourself tonight, and I'll just clear it up. Nick's not done this before. He's not shy. Anthony hasn't done it, but he will be doing it, but he is a bit shy. All right, so that's coming on top. So what are we looking at in the programme? What are we going to cover? We're going to basically focus on what goes on behind the scenes, all right, in a life of a councillor. And this is not to try and put anybody off. This is part of our campaign now. We're going to start, because things are happening in the future, we want to tell you what we actually do. If you're up for a mission, Tony, up for a mission, right, we are going to explain the viewers behind the scenes of a councillor's week. That's going to be slightly different because Nick will explain what he has to do when the slide comes up. Nick, yeah,
Yep.
right, and Tony will explain what
I'll
we
explain
do.
some of the rather exciting things I got to do this week.
Right, but people don't actually see. People don't see it, Nick, do they? They don't
No,
see
they don't,
what we
no,
get up to.
no.
So the way I look at it, Nick, how would you, without going on to the next slide, your eyes are open, aren't they?
Oh yes, it's been a big learning curve for me. So I've got some interesting stories, and
That's what we like. Keep them guessing, Nick. Keep them guessing.
Okay, well, should we ask Tony to
All
do
right.
his thing this
is
week?
it my
Hey?
Tony spot of the
Go
week?
ahead,
Club?
Tony.
So
Impress
your voice matters. So let's have a conversation. You can get us on Facebook, where we're live at the moment. WhatsApp on 07355 429 205. If you subscribe to YouTube, you'll find us on that as well. You can message and comment. We'll answer as many as we can. And also, if you've got anything you want to say, you can contact Neil on neil.stevens@devon.gov.uk. And I am getting better.
But also, you can also bounce it away. You can contact Tony on tony.stevens.gov.uk. And how can they contact you, Nick?
you can contact me as Nick Williams at co.uk.
No, okay, yeah, your councillor,
Councillor.
Nick
Williams.
Williams at exeter.gov.uk.
Yep, that's it. Yeah.
Yeah, sorry to stand on your toes.
That's okay. Yeah. No, I had to think then.
Else they won't go anywhere.
Tony, did we get that right?
It'll get bounced back,
Okay,
and I
perfect.
get quite a lot. So let's just go back to
Nice
basically
one, Nick.
the week in a life. So what we're looking at is no 2 days are the same.
No,
Agreed?
they're not. No.
Tony,
No, they're definitely not this week.
Anthony, I'm bringing him in on the side.
Yeah, no,
No.
same.
Okay. 1 minute is basically highways. You could do parks, rubbish, people. Right. The next thing, which is send, which is quite personal to me, and we'll talk about the send later on. Social care. I've been dealing with social care. Right. Also planning, which is your department really, which
It
I get
is.
my knuckles wrapped sometimes because I stand on your toes. Right.
Always.
And you've heard about that, Nick, and
I
without
have,
going into
yeah.
lines.
You tend
Yeah.
to upset people, don't you?
Yeah, and which involves all of us, community groups, right, which we love, and any emergencies which we can help. So
And
that's
we've also got
that's
licensing as well.
I'm going to go back to what
We've also got licensing for Exeter.
you might as well come on in a
You might as
minute,
well come
Anthony. All right, so
Here he
we-
comes, though.
We're
He's
going to bring
changed his
Anthony in.
mind. Yeah, he's not so embarrassed after. So there you go. That.
So Anthony has now swallowed the brave pill, and
Yep.
we might have to sort his camera in a bit. But
Well, introduce him.
Sat in the room.
yeah.
okay, in fact, Anthony, just
Yeah,
who you are.
I'm Councillor Tony Payne from, and I represent Whipton and Mincing Lake Ward in Exeter.
Well, you and your thing.
Oh, he's found that button.
He's found it.
Right.
Right, that's
Okay, carry on,
that's the
guys.
end of that because I
Yeah.
get complaints. Can I just emphasise what Tony said? This actual podcast is about you guys. So tonight we can talk and talk and talk, and I can talk all day, and I know Nick and Tony can. Tony definitely can. But we need your questions in. Marion, I apologised last week. You got frustrated. You thought something happened. Marion was the lady we brought on with the weeds. No, we didn't block you. I love your comments. I love what you bring on, and I love all your emails you give me. So it's about messaging. Get the message to us. We will answer your questions through the show. So it doesn't matter how long we take, we will get these messages. And there's nothing coming in right now, I don't think. It takes me a bit of time to work it out. And let me have a look.
Right. Well, there's nothing coming in. I think we should.
So, Rob, introduce the next slide, and I'll be last.
Okay, well, this is why we stood. Were you just talking about that a little
Nope.
bit?
Now you can do why we stood.
There we go. You want me to do it? Okay, fine. Well, I didn't stand, so let me ask Tony. Why did you stand, Tony?
Well, you know, I look at what was going on, and I'd been into politics a bit. I used to sort of support the Conservatives. There you go. I hold my hand up to that many years ago. And, you know, I'm getting older now. I've got grandchildren, and I look at how it's going. I mean, that's the easiest answer. You know, it wasn't going the way I'd liked it. And if people don't stand up and sort of say something, it'll just carry on the same way. So even though everyone knows I'm reform, it has stirred up the political pot a bit. And if reform didn't come around, then I think we'd still be in the same situation of two main parties. It'll either be one or the other in charge. Well, now it's stirred it up a bit. So
well,
that's
what do you
why
mean by stirred it up a bit, Tony? For the better,
before,
right?
Before reform was around, and again, we are non-political here, I'll just say that. But before they were around, there was Labour, there was Conservative and Liberal Democrats.
And don't forget the Greens.
Yeah, but they weren't really. All right, we'll say the Greens. There you go as well. Let's not forget them. So it was always the same. It was either going to be a Labour-controlled government or a Conservative-controlled government. One would make all the promises, maybe a few quick wins, and then they might do 3 terms, and then the Conservatives or Labour, whoever's left, they would go and do it. Then they would make promises. But I look at the way it's going now, and it's going nowhere. Britain seems to have lost respect for itself, and I just want it back again.
Well, you're asking questions and you're holding people to account. And, with the merry-go-round that we had before, it seemed to many people that there wasn't any accountability. Is that what you mean, Tony?
Well, there didn't seem to be any accountability. Money spent, and it's taxpayers' money spent in all sorts of places,
Yeah.
One of the things we're asking now is, what's it spent on? Are we getting value for money?
Yes.
And through what we do now in Devon County Council, yes, we don't have a majority, we have no seats on the cabinet, but what we can do is find out where your money goes to.
And, hey, Tony, state the obvious. I don't think, now Neil's got a tie on, okay? But you don't have a tie on
I
today.
don't do ties.
Because, no, you don't do ties. You're a man
Unless
of the people.
it's a funeral or a wedding, so there we go.
Okay, well, I'll make sure when I'm married again, you
I'll wear a
your
tie.
Okay, but no, seriously, you're a man of the people. You represent the people. You've lived here all your life. I think,
it's
right?
not to do with a man of the people. I've worked all my life, and anything I've got, I've worked for, and I'm proud of that, and I'm proud of what my children do as well. And that's what I like. I live in St Thomas. I want Exeter. I've seen Exeter sort of get worse over time. And I don't want to see that. I want to see the reverso. I want people to come into this city and be proud of what they see.
Okay, great. Thank you, Tony. And Neil, do you want to say a few words?
Yeah, a couple of things. We all have different designs, and if we all dress the same, we'd be quite boring, Nick. Would you agree?
I would totally
Nick's
agree.
quite trendy, actually.
Yeah, you are trendy, actually.
I do get comments that I'm not
there we
appropriately dressed.
We'll come to
when I
that
go
in a
to
minute.
council.
I just want to make, so I'm going to interrupt you guys as we go along. There's a lot of Stevenses watching. Thank you. I got Livy Stevens. It was great to meet you today, by
We've
the way.
got a big audience tonight.
And do you know what made me laugh? I'll tell you the story. She was at a meeting somewhere. I walked in and I gave my daughter a kiss, and they all looked at me and I said, she's my daughter. I was very proud of that moment. Tina, thanks for watching. Dana, VM Checker, we're going to invite him back on next week. We're going to mention him on Facebook. He is actually doing a soak. And what I mean by a soak is he's looking at the books for Exeter City Council. I must stress, nothing's underhanded, but we're looking about where they're spending. Rob, yes, I did do the LGR meeting today, and hopefully I did myself proud, which I think I did, and you got bored halfway through. Thank you very much. That's not about my invitation. Now, one of you, I suggest.
Okay.
Nick.
Hey, Nick, what's going on in your Exeter City Council world there? Huh? Why did you stand? Tell us a little bit about yourself.
Okay,
and,
well, I stood really because I retired after COVID, and then I started to get a little bit bored, and I've always been not happy with things that have happened, and I thought, if I don't stand, I can't make a change. So really, standing enables me to have a small voice. So I think that's why I did it, really.
Small voice or small man?
Yeah.
Sorry.
A small voice for a small
But
man.
I mean, you get a lot
That's a joke,
of
sorry.
people with small voices together, and then you've got a bigger
Exactly.
voice.
Yeah.
This is it, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but why? Because, you retired, didn't you?
Yeah, I did.
So why did you want the extra hassle?
I've got a daughter, and I don't like the way the world's going to. Very much the same as Tony. I grew up a lot of my time, not all my life in Exeter, but I've seen how it's changed, and it hasn't changed for the better. It's changed for the worse. And I thought, if I stand, I can hopefully change something. I don't
agree,
think
yes.
I can change that much, because it's been a learning curve, and you realise that unless you're in a majority, you can't change that much. But over a matter of time, hopefully, we will become the majority and we will make more of a change.
And also, learning curve. I think what comes to my mind, Nick, when you say that, really is not the job itself, basically, but learning all about where all the money is going to, because one would never know why the graffiti is all over the place in Exeter, why there's weeds all over the place, and so that's sort of like the learning curve, isn't it? Is to find out why did that happen.
Well, it is. It's a learning curve on finding out who's responsible for what
Exactly.
and who you need to speak to. It's a learning curve on what you can do and what you can't do. It really is a steep learning curve. I said to my wife, when I was elected in and you go into the council offices and you sign the declaration and you've got all these emails coming in, and it's almost as if, to use an analogy, you stood in front of a classroom full of school children and you haven't qualified as a school teacher. So you don't know what you should be teaching. It's a mathematics class. You know nothing about mathematics. And this is what happens when you become a councillor. You get emails and you don't know how to respond.
Yeah, and I think just to add to that, I think that's exactly right, Nick. And just to add to that is, a lot of people are going to you because they know that you're a man of the people and are in this Reform Party and want to make a difference. So you're probably getting a lot more emails, and people expect a lot of politicians. They know they can get a hold of a politician, and whereas it's very difficult to get a hold of somebody who's in charge of the weeds, let's say. Hey, Anthony, would you like to share a couple of words about why you ran and what you've been up to?
I ran because I was seeing the way Exeter was was looking, and I had just had enough. I just had enough of it, and I thought, right, if I get a chance to stand, I'll stand. And my chance came, and I stood. And I stood for Whipton and Mincing Lake.
Exactly, and I think if I remember when you first ran in the by-election last year in 2025, I believe that you achieved the highest percentage of votes.
I did, yes.
In any of the council elections. So hats off to you, Tony. You ran a great campaign.
Oh, thank you very much.
And I wasn't able to help
course,
as much
you got
this year,
re-elected
but last year was a gem. Thanks so much. Neil, back to you.
Yeah, I'm trying to work this phone out to get messages, so we have to give that in a minute. So do you want to hand that to Rob, because I've totally messed that up.
Okay.
Remember, guys, if
That's
I'm
why
looking at paperwork, I'm trying to control it as well as with Rob and also answer the questions that people are bringing up. So I emphasise right now, if you can send us questions, it's all about what you want to report to us. I don't care what they are, as long as they're clean. Don't swear at us. All right, so what do I have a story? Okay. Why? I was like you, Nick. After the lockdown, I semi-retired. I actually retired. And the retirement, Tony, lasted, I think, a week.
Not even that, did it?
All right. And the kid said to me, he said, Dad, if you retire, you'll die. Yeah, because I'm very active. Some of them say I'm a little bit different. And they accuse me of an ADHD every day, which I did fall out with my future son-in-law, Dex, as you know, because I'm not weird. But I wanted to give something back. You know, I'm 61 years old. I've supported. He's going to give me a phone back now. Thank you. And, you know, I've spent a lot of time in the military. Joined the army at 16, boy soldier, went through regular and reserve. So it taught me about public service. This is my personal view. All right. Yeah, I ran my business. Some maybe not good, some not bad, but I've always been self-employed once I come out. And I'm still self-employed now. Tony and I work together, and my future son-in-law is getting married in 6 weeks, and I've never really regretted my life at all. But the more I see is frustration. Go on, Rob, you're going to interrupt me.
Well, at some point, I'll just share with you a little bit about why I became involved. I didn't stand and chose not to, but after you finish talking, go ahead, Neil.
You've just interrupted me.
Lost his flow of
Lost the flow.
yeah.
All right, so it's like the council.
Yeah.
You get in the flow and they interrupt
Yeah.
you. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like the chairman today who did the LGR committee. I have to give Ed Tilsley, and I will mention name, credit to him. He had a couple of spanners thrown in the works, but he pulled it back and he did a good meeting today. Right, so like you guys were all frustrated. You're not going to interrupt me again.
Okay, well, anyway, I'll speak my piece. Okay, you guys got your 2 cents in, but I moved down to Exeter about 5 years ago, and suddenly noticed this city's different from other cities from the standpoint that it's a bit shabby. And so, like a good troop, I emailed my local councillor, who's a Labour person, and the council itself, and didn't get any answers. And then about that time, I retired, and we had forming the first branch meeting here, January 2025, and Neil and Tony asked if I could help get them elected, and I thought this would be a great opportunity because I know they've lived here all their lives, and to help them and to help City of Exeter. And then it kind of grew because Neil and Tony are really great leaders, and Anthony joined our campaign group, and about 10 other was, I think, Anthony, right?
Yeah, there was about 10 others that joined as well, and then we fought a hard campaign, and here we are today.
Exactly, and we all worked like crazy because our first meeting was in January, and the elections were that early May, and we worked like crazy, didn't we, Tony?
Yes, we did. I mean, I do remember a week off from work. I was out delivering leaflets, and it was just one at the time, one of me. And I do appreciate how canvassers work and how hard it is.
Okay, Neil, back to you then.
Oh, thank you very much.
Yeah, no problem.
If I hog, I understand. I'm a bit of a man who can hog a scene. From Nat here, good evening all. My apologies. I had a meeting with my NHO late afternoon and had to do some shopping for Mum. Mum's, hopefully she's okay. I'll be back next week. Miss you all. Nick, do you want muscle? And what the people elected you to do with no fear. So Nat, you better have your ass back here next week, okay? Because I'll find you a crate of beer, okay? Mike Norvin, good to see you online. Right, going back to what? Right, so we can all sit here, and this is a little bit of a campaigning now. We are starting the campaign. We'll come back to that in a minute. But all of us here have basically decided to stand. Right? We can all sit here and complain. You can all sit in your little fancy chairs at home and to change the world. Right? But we all have the balls to do something. And there's ladies out there who've had the balls to do something. There's loads of people. Do not interrupt me. All right? Before local politics, it should all be about local people. All right? And I'm happy. And Tony and I will work with anybody. I've had people on the internet saying, well, why are you reform? I'm reformed because I want change. I'm not saying I agree with everything, right? But I will not fall out of anybody. I will work with anybody. Tony, Nick, Anthony, let's carry on that. You will work with anybody.
Yeah, exactly the same.
You
Yeah.
say it,
Yeah, exactly the same. You know, I say to people when I go and knock on the doors, and do I support every policy of reform? No. But do I think that they will make the most change? Probably yes. But most of this, when we're knocking on doors, isn't about what's happening countrywide. It's about what's happening for our city.
Yeah,
Local.
totally agree.
Local. And
Totally agree.
this is what we're trying to change. We've had Labour's been in power for a very long time, over 10 years.
14? About 14 years. I think.
Yeah, 14 years. The city's got worse and worse. Nothing is changing. And if nothing changes, we have to do something to make that change. So I could have joined Labour.
Glad
But
you didn't.
nothing would change because they haven't changed. So I think this is why I went with reform, because I wanted to basically try and change what's happening to the city.
Yeah. Can I just add to that?
Yeah.
I've found while I've been doing this over the last year and a half, the biggest perception of people is what they read about us in the media, on the TV.
Let's come back to that in a minute.
Well-
That's an interesting subject, what you brought up.
Yeah.
Rob,
Well, I was just going to mention that everybody has. In fact, I stood up in front of an audience last year and shared this, and because they were discussing a topic about leadership and roles and responsibilities. So I stood up and I said, everybody has a role to play. Some time, talent, and treasure. Some people have a lot of time in their hands, like me. Some have a lot of treasure, a lot of money, and some have a lot of talent, like Tony, of course.
Full of talent.
But no, everybody has a role to play. People can issue leaflets if they're a bit infirmed or whatever. They can jump on the telephone. Everybody has a role to play, and that's what we're going to exploit and use in this campaign that's coming up.
I want to come back to Tony there. I cut him off for a reason. The reason I cut Tony off, what he just brought him up was brilliant. So Tony, just go back to that and then ask these three about how smoke and mirrors and what you see.
Well, it's the same old story, isn't it? I mean, you get certain media, they will say that reform is far right. Well, they've never met us. Where they've come up, so what they're saying is everybody who's voted for reform, they're far right as well. So it is quite annoying, and they will just push any story that makes reform look bad because we're a threat. And I do find it annoying, even when I went to the Devon County show to do some canvassing. As my fellow compatriot Anthony will say, I was only out there a couple of minutes before a woman said, "Shame on me." And I thought, well, what have I done?
Yeah.
And then obviously I got a one-figured salute. But this is the sort of thing that we're trying to change. I think, at least come over and speak to me. Don't make a judgment about what you see. It doesn't matter which political party you are. You'll always get the far right people, the far left. But we're the same as a lot of other local councillors and county councillors. We will work with anyone in our area for the good of the residents.
Yeah,
It's
just to add to
different
that, Tony.
on our politics, though.
Thank you. But just to add to that, put a little temper that a little bit. So I went to the Devon County show, and you were there as well, Tony and Neil, and everybody was there actually in the room.
Yeah, we all are.
And I was out there in front of the tent, and I had the box of buttons, about 1,000 buttons, and everybody that walked by, hey, would you like a button? And you know what? Even though some did not want a button, maybe about 40%. I think there's only one couple, one of the members, one of the couples came up to me and said something derogatory. But by and large, people were really either neutral or actually 60% of them, I swear, 60% of them were favorable or complimentary about the party. So I'm not fussed. I didn't really hear that, and I've been out issuing leaflets in many different wards. It's very rare that I think people at large are very good, and there's not really too much to worry about. Neil?
Okay, let's stick to the program. Okay, so I'm going to put this to Anthony, Nick, and then Tony. Right, Monday morning. Right, remember what the subject about. We don't want to be off the subject. It's about a week in the lives of a local and Devon County councillor. And there's not many questions coming in. Nat, come on, you're a big boy, bring them in. Carol, bring it in. Everybody, ask some questions. Right, so Monday morning, right, what does it actually look like? Because I could reel all day. So, Anthony, a Monday morning to you, you turn the laptop on, tell me your day.
Well, Monday morning, the first thing I do is turn the laptop on, obviously, check all my emails, usually from residents asking me to sort out missed bins and stuff like that. I send that over to relevant departments in Democratic Services, and then that's usually Matt's usually done by lunchtime, and then Monday afternoon I just go around visiting residents and asking them about what's been going on and if they've got any problems in the area.
How often do you have meetings, Tony, with the council?
At the minute.
What committees are you on? Are you on committees?
I am, yeah. I'm on audit and governance, licensing. I'm substitute for Nick when he can't make it. I'm on the Harbour Board for Exeter City Council as well. I'm on the Exeter Canal and Quay Trust as well. And I'm on some others, but I can't actually remember them at the moment.
Many of them.
Congratulations! That's a lot of work, isn't it? Really?
Yeah.
Yeah. What does the audit committee do? That sounds interesting.
Audit and governance. It looks into the budget of the council and stuff like that.
Okay. Okay, Neil.
No, right. Okay. So you might call us 4 grumpy old men, right? 4 grumpy old men. But these 4 old grumpy men want to make a change, right? And Nick, so you are a newbie, I call you.
I am
Yeah.
at that.
Yeah. You are a newbie. I like that word. All right. In the army, it used to be called a crow.
Yeah.
And I don't want to bring that up. Or a hat. Dex, you know what a hat is. Sorry, that's another thing. So let's describe your day into the week, because it is an eye-opener, isn't it?
It is. I mean, I'm not a laptop person. I never have been. So everything I look up, emails, etc., is via my phone. And I'm one of these people that if a message comes in, even at Sunday night at 10 o'clock, which they do, I answer it then, because I'm a little bit OCD like that. And
Oh, I was told that as
yeah,
well.
yeah, and it
Your
works.
kids telling you that, are they?
My wife.
My wife hadn't said that to me yet.
But it works for me, I think, and you got to do what works for you rather than get up Monday morning, switch on the computer, and then have this huge list. And maybe frustrated people, because some of the emails are people that have got something which is disturbing them there and then. So if I can answer it and put the relevant balls in motion, I will. So the last week or two has changed so much from visiting schools, which has been fantastic, local schools in my ward, and see the problems they are facing, to visiting CoLab, where they deal with rough sleepers, and see how busy that is, to dealing with residents that are getting their cars damaged by kids playing football, to, of course, the subject we don't talk about, the actual travellers, and which play area, sports field they've hit next, which obviously you get a lot of really annoyed people and they want an answer there and then. And I think, Tony, the hardest thing is giving these people answers, because
You can't solve every issue.
yeah,
No.
That's the one thing that I've learned. You can't win them all, but if you can get a response that's helpful and point them in the right direction, that's also always useful.
I think most of them are reassured. If you answer quite quickly, they normally come back and say, thank you for answering quickly. They feel reassured that you've actually bothered to look at the email, and you hope you offer some help. And you can't always resolve the problems.
Yeah, I think like the travellers, like
Yeah.
you say, you're stuck between a rock and a hard place, because unfortunately you cannot just kick them off. You have to go through a process.
Yeah.
And, they do know where to go to next. They've already planned that one out.
Okay, thank you, Tony. Neil?
Yeah, so let's put a bit of life into this. So we can make a joke all the time, but at the end of the day, what I'm trying to do here, we're trying to make sure, we're trying to tell you about our life in a week. I'm surprised I'm not divorced, actually. I don't know about you,
Yeah.
Nick. Yeah, Tony. All right, because my wife said to me, and I've said this before, she said, Neil, when you stand as a councillor, it's going to change your life. I went, no, it won't.
Funny enough, that's exactly what I said when I first become elected.
What about you, Nick? What's your wife like? Or she just wanted to get rid of you?
No, she's been fairly good, really. I mean, she's been quite supportive in that decision. I think because she was involved a bit more in local politics before I was. So I think in one way she kind of knew what I was dipping my toe in. And she did say to me, do you really want to do this? So she's been quite good, really. But it does take up a lot of time. I think people don't realise how much time it takes up.
Yeah, for us as county councillors, we have slightly different issues. I mean, one of the things that comes up a lot are parking issues. People parking on double yellow lines, blocking entrances, permits. That's another one I've been dealing a lot with. So you sort of have to answer the email. Then you have to sort of get hold of the relevant department, be it enforcement, the permit section, and then you have to get back to the original person just to sort of relay the information. I did have one, for instance, of bad parking in Lincoln Road that's stopping the emergency vehicles from coming through. but there are no yellow lines. And unfortunately, I did try and explain to the person, there's no law to say you can't park half on the pavement, half off, but it would pay to do it quite sensibly.
Neil, what do you think are the biggest challenges with your work?
Yeah,
there?
it's the biggest challenge is get people to ask questions. Everybody's a bit shy. I don't know about YouTube. We don't. Yeah, Marion, if you're on YouTube and you tried to ask questions last time, it's either my equipment, but it's not working. So my apologies, Marion. You need to get on my Facebook page. So what are we looking at? I average per day, and I'm going to ask each one of you about 30 to 35 emails. That's not all residents. That's different types. Anthony, how many do you average?
I'd say about 20 emails.
Okay, Nick?
I'll be honest, I'd probably say maybe 15 emails a day.
Are you Nicholas or Nick?
Well, my proper name's Nicholas. The only person who calls me that is my mum.
Well, I don't. I don't actually
Well, but I've
sort
been
names.
naughty.
May I
You've
call you
been
Nicholas?
But everybody calls me Nick.
I'm going to call you Nicholas just to annoy you.
Yeah, it will do.
Tony.
Yeah, I get, and it depends which day it is. Tuesday's always a bad one. I'll get between 20 to 30 a day. Some of them, like I say, you could look at it and go, it's just nothing. Other ones are meetings, and obviously there's the ones where residents are asking you to sort of follow up, do things. So you've got to chase them up and obviously look at the replies and stuff like that. Oh, and a couple of complaints from local councillors for doing things that upset them. But we won't talk about that because I don't hold a grudge.
Okay, my turn, Rob, if that's all right with you. Yeah. So there's not many questions coming in. So what I presume is nobody wants to be a councillor.
No,
Probably not.
Okay, but let's go back to sitting in an armchair, moaning and groaning and saying they could change the world. This now is a little bit of a recruitment drive. If you want change, guys, we need people right now. And yes, you have hundreds of emails. So when I say hundreds, you don't get 100 per day. I average about 30 to 35 emails a day. And it's a challenge, yeah? You know, it's residents. It's all about the residents. We work, live, and Tony and I work, you work, I know you're semi-retired.
If somebody asks for a road that's looking bad, we have to chase up and do our best to get highways to patch those roads. And it's always good when they do.
But it's about residents, isn't it? Residents asking for help, right? We it's not all about phone calls and emails. It's about looking at committee papers. Right, this podcast, we try not to script it. This is just give me a guideline, right? But somebody has to put it together. And sorry, Dana, yes, I spent till 12 last night putting it together because I've been busy, right? But we meet people, we meet the officers, we meet on the planning. Roger, brilliant, went round all the places the other day. And Nick and Anthony, how do you find it? Do you meet officers? How's your relationship with Exeter City Council? Officers, I'm talking about.
Yeah, the officers, I feel, are great. I mean, if you need to contact them, they're there and they will answer the emails as soon as they can. But personally, as a councillor, I've not had any problems with the officers or anything like that. I don't know.
No,
How about you, Nick?
No, I haven't. I think, especially being a newbie, I use them more than most people because I'll get a question and I'm thinking, should this be me or should this go as far as you guys at Devon County? So some emails come to me by mistake, but I don't know they're by mistake. So obviously I need this guidance. So
and that's when you usually contact me as well.
Yeah, or I'll contact you for some guidance.
Yeah.
I'd rather get the guidance and get it right rather than say something and then somebody proves me wrong. So I find the officers have been okay, yeah. Yeah.
I think getting on to what Neil said as well as doing sort of answering emails from residents and trying to solve problems, we do attend meetings. So we have to sort of read the paperwork beforehand so that when we go in, we can understand what the meeting's about.
Yeah. I've lost which slides you put up and I don't really care.
Well, I think that's the hardest thing, Tony. I think initially, especially at council meeting, the main council meeting, I don't know how many pages that last one had, 80, 90 pages.
I think it was about 200 odd pages.
Was it?
At the end of it? Yeah.
I'm not sure. It was a huge amount. And you've got to read through it all. So you know what's going to be brought up and how you're going to vote. Because I didn't realise at council meetings somebody will put a proposal in and then we're all expected to vote on it. And if we haven't actually done our homework before, then
before Neil talks, that's another thing we had to learn. So that when you go in, there is a strict sort of way to do it. You can put proposals in, amendments to the proposals, to that, and all of this has got to be voted on. And it's a learning curve.
Yeah. Hey, speaking of learning curve, Neil, don't work till 12:30 in the morning again, okay? Because you don't understand what the flip of the slide's going on or what topic should we be on, okay?
No, right, okay. All right, you may laugh, but...
What topic should we be on now?
No, I try and divide my time up with my wife, who's really, really lovely, and I'm trying to prove to her that my life hasn't changed. Well, I made a pact about 18 years ago that I'd never lie, and I do not lie. But when she cuddles me and we watch some program on TV and she goes to bed, I say, I'll be with you in 10 minutes. Well, 10 minutes is like appostate in the evening,
10
and I get
minutes
to
in the
bed
day
at
of the life of a
12.
councillor.
4
But
hours
it's like
later.
a drug. So, Nick,
Yeah.
you must find it. You
Yeah.
pick up that laptop, you look at somebody, and there's some people, I can't mention their names. As soon as you read their heartache story, you want to do something about it.
You
Yeah.
do. And I'm a type of person that I like to go and see people. You know, I like face-on type conversation.
face-to-face.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I prefer that. I would rather do that than answer the phone. You know, go and see somebody, see exactly what's happening, see them the situation. It's a lot easier to see when you're there. Someone's got an issue with parking, neighbours, etc., etc. I think if you visit them, you're almost putting that human touch to it, and I think that's important for us to show that we are humans and we do care, we do have compassion.
Yeah, so let's go keep to the... it's about the community. Let's get the community one up, okay?
All right, back on schedule again.
All right, so supporting our community. Right. Tony, talk about the payback team, because Bow
Right,
Hill
so the
Lane is a
payback team,
win-win.
One of the things we found out when we first became county councillors is there is no money. And if I've heard it once, I've heard it 100 times. So you have to think outside the box. So we looked at all the weeds that were coming up in our the west side of the city. Well, there's no money. Exeter City will tell you that Devon County Council should be giving them money, but they don't, so there is no money. So through thinking outside the box, we thought of the community payback team, which are people who've got community service and they have to do their bit for the community. So we found out that they're perfectly able to do weeds, and they are doing a brilliant job. Unfortunately, it sounds awful. There's not as many as there could be. So we're having to sort of, with the resources we've got, between Neil and myself, we've sort of had to come up with the idea of doing the main roads in at the moment, such as if you look at Bow Hill, it's just been done. The main roads being in, so that's what most of the drivers will see when they enter this city.
Yeah, go ahead, Neil.
Yeah, so we're on about supporting our community, guys, and there's things that we can discuss, like you're in charge of dustbins or rubbish removal, you're in charge of parks, we're in charge. It doesn't really matter, but we can all use community payback team. Have you heard about the community payback team?
Yeah,
I have,
yeah.
yeah.
I'm going to reel them off. Locality budget. We have a locality budget of 10 grand. You have a locality budget of
3,000, but that's split between 3 councillors for each ward.
Yeah.
And out of those 3 councillors, 2 councillors have to basically say yes.
Well, I've just fished
Yeah.
you in, by the way. Okay, because I had 10 grand, you got
Yeah.
3, 6.
Yeah.
That's 6 grand.
Yeah.
So let's look at Exeter right now. So I'm going to write to you guys, because we are one team, Tony.
Flush with cash.
They're one team?
We certainly are.
Okay, so you just fell for the trap. So in the next
Not
24
exactly
hours...
for that.
because I might have spent mine already.
Well, Food Action Group. We're do a podcast, not a podcast. They're coming on about the Food Action Group. They help everybody in Devon. So that is your catchment. Okay, I'm looking at the Croquet Club. We actually, Tony and I was invited to the Croquet Club.
Yeah,
Tony,
I've got to say on this,
Don't tell me you beat me.
I was told I was a natural at croquet,
So
and that
the
I
cro-
should join the team. But
And then what
Croquet
happened
Club.
after you started playing croquet, Tony, huh?
no, come on.
Right. Croquet Club, well, you're going to write to you. And the reason I'm telling you this, guys, is because there's a lot of things who need support. And it's not just the locality budget and
The ward grants.
ward grants.
grants, yeah.
Yeah.
We are now going to work as a team, right? And what I mean by a team, they belong to this party, we belong to, so we are one team. But also, let's look at the veterans. So I've wrote Remembrance Day. You know I'm big on Remembrance Day and whatever, Christmas dinner. So I've wrote to the councillors. Did you get my email?
Yes.
Did you give a response?
Not yet. I'm going to.
Well, hurry up. Okay, Remembrance
Well
Days.
done, Anthony.
We're getting less. And it's not just but the people who've done the First or Second World War. It's about people who have been to all different campaigns. So we need to remember this. And I will ask every councillor to support that day. Right, that's a bit of a... right, community groups. Tony, what you've supported in ours so far?
Right, so one of the things that I found really enjoyable on Saturday was the Exwick Fete. So I went to the Exwick Fete because for a start my wife wanted honey, but while I was in there it was really interesting to see some of the actual organisations that the locality grant had helped out. So not only giving money for the actual Exwick Fete, but when I went in there I spoke to the Exwick Job Club. Now something that I thought was really important, I gave a little bit of my locality grant towards them. Really interesting to see what they did, and I've put it on my Facebook if anyone's interested. I looked in the corner, the Exwick Heritage Club, of which locality also gave money to last year. I went outside, Wellbeing, which is also helps the community. Another thing, the locality, the money's there to help the community, to put money back in, to do a donation if you're looking for something. And last year, I think 20 organisations benefited from it, not just in Exwick, some in St Thomas as well, obviously. I try and split the money, but it was so fantastic to see some of these organisations and how it benefited them and how pleased they were.
I'm going to pass a question. So you've got this locality... No, was it
award grant we have.
Yeah.
So what have you spent your award grant on? No, questions I'm going to ask you.
Yeah.
You had a award grant of whatever, £3,000 last year, this year. What have you spent that money? Did you have any money left?
We did, for my award, I think last year we spent all of ours. We've just had 2 award grants accepted yesterday for 2 groups in Whipton, because all the money that we get...
Well, simple answer. Did you spend all the money?
No, we haven't yet.
No, not last year.
No, last year we did.
Good answer.
This year we haven't.
Anthony, is that a pot of money, a little bit of money per each councillor? Because there are 3 councillors in each ward, correct?
No, it's that for all 3 councillors to spend.
I see.
But we have to go through the ward grant system, and then we have to approve the ward grant.
A maximum of £350 per.
Yeah, that's correct.
Okay,
Yeah.
so do you have to get together with the other 2 councillors in the ward and discuss and agree? Is that how it happens?
No, we just send an email to say that we agree to it, and we agree to the ward grant being allocated to this community group.
Would all 3 of you do that?
Yeah.
Okay, fantastic.
Okay, so then I'm going to ask the same question. Nicholas, I love that name. I don't like short names. Nicholas, that is posh name.
If
Grant.
only.
I know you haven't spent it all year, but you understand it's about helping the community.
Yeah, it's basically about helping the community. I have a little bit of a confrontation with my other 2
Discussions, I like to call it.
On the fact that we've spent probably 80% of our grant already, and they seem to be very keen to spend it all, when I would like to keep a little bit back, because maybe the croquet club will want something and I'll get invited down for cucumber sandwiches.
Well, you should say that. We had tea on the lawn.
Yeah.
Yeah, can I just, Rob, sorry, do you know what? That's a really good answer. And the reason I say that is that croquet club, there's 42 members, we're going to put that up, but it comes from all areas of Exeter, Topsham, right? And do you know what? That was a really sensible. So 10 grand, I can't give 2 grand, 3 grand. I want to divide it up as many people. Do you know
of
what?
course.
That was the best answer
Yeah.
I've heard anybody say. Even you outbeat me there. Well done.
Well done, Nick.
Well, I think it goes really, really, really quick, doesn't it? And I think the concern is that if you spend it really fast in the year and then some real cause comes along which you need to support, you won't have the money to support it. I know by the end of the year you want to spend it all, because I think I'm correct in saying the money doesn't roll over.
No, it does.
It does in ours now.
It does
Does
now.
it?
It's only
Yeah.
just
But,
changed.
it can roll over, but I'd rather give the money to the community now, and next year we get the same amount.
Yeah.
And we can do it all again, and more charities and groups will benefit.
Okay, thanks, Tony. And Neil's giving me the high five. He's got to talk right now, okay? Neil?
No, I was trying to tell you, dude. Right, this is not
I didn't want to
rehearsed, by the
interrupt
way.
you.
No, I wanted you to say, right, the next thing is, challenges. The challenges we have separate challenges, Devon, Exeter, but in the end of the day, it's all about the community. It's about the people. And we'll talk about other parties and all that, but at the end of the day, we all have to work together. So the biggest challenges, and I'll put that to you, Anthony. Before I come to you, Nicholas? I love that word.
Okay.
Anthony, what's your biggest challenge?
It's just trying to work with the other councillors, because obviously they've got ways they want to do things for the ward. But at the end of the day, I just want to work with everybody, as you said, Neil, as a team. At the end of the day, we're all there for the community, so we need to work for the community.
That's a good answer.
That is a very good answer, actually. You beat
you
me
beat
again.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's twice now. I've been beaten.
Okay, Neil, you
twice.
figure out where we are in the script now.
No,
huh?
I'm not worried about the script because I don't care. So my biggest thing is children, right? So the way I look at it right now is the challenges up to me is I've had 1, maybe 2, 3, 4 successes on SEND, Special Education Needs and Disability, and I've had more emails from residents, whether it goes around. So I've learned a lot, Tony, haven't we, over the last month, to be honest. Yeah, Tony had more experience because of your son, right? But you don't need to put the best job right now. It's the challenges. Okay, the challenges is trying to help as many people as we can. And it doesn't matter about dustbins. It doesn't matter about the child, as in you can only do what you can do. But we're only one individual, right? But that's my biggest challenge, I would say. SEND, right? We do school visit, education. And today was, we're going to talk about LGR in a minute. We've got time, Rob, haven't we? All right. But that's my biggest
Bugbear.
Yeah, bugbear right now.
Yeah. Why is that? Why do you say that, Neil? What's troubling you?
Right, so we're going off subject a bit right now, but we have individual cases I can't discuss. I've had people write to me, and I'll come on to that in a minute when the best things that happened to me. But the more I learn about these children and adults, the more you actually care about them. Okay? So we'll do what's next in a minute. So the biggest challenge to me is to try and take that individual, that child, that family, that mother, that father, and grandparents, and to help them do that. And the more I learn about it, it's not simple. And then what do? So we're trying to do something, and we throw a spanner in the works. And what's the spanner in the works, Tony? Today?
Well, it's LGR, which is my biggest challenge, because if it's not done right in the time that we've got, adult services, SEND, council, buses, you could carry on highways, and anything that Exeter City do won't happen. And if it's not done, like I said, that is a challenge for all of us. And even for all the county councillor work, we were at an LGR meeting today. It is a big subject. And for some reason, not everyone seems to know about it, how much it's going to affect their lives, how towns will have a borderline down the middle where one half will be Torbay, the other half will be coastal, well, whatever they're called now.
Yeah. Part of the city or part of the country.
Let's just explain that a little bit better. So we're going to be divided up into 4 parts, you understand that?
Yes, yeah.
Right, at this moment in time, we're going to have, I think we got too many, there's no offence, by the way, we got too many local councillors anyway. Okay, 3 per ward, and they're all walking around in little groups right now. Not you guys, because you don't need that, but they all obviously need protection.
And they do in Alphington.
So then we have Devon County councillors. So this is only an estimate, so don't quote me off. We're gonna possibly have 86 councillors for Exeter. That might be wrong.
Oh, well, Exeter and the surrounding areas.
Yeah.
Greater Exeter.
Greater Exeter.
Yeah.
Greater
I'm
Exeter.
gonna have
Unitary
to.
authority.
Have I got time to tell you the story how a gentleman today was Councillor Arnott?
Go ahead, Neil.
We were at an LGR, and he did go off, and I have to, it was, if you want scrutiny on LGR, he told a story, and the story is very simple. Imagine a man talking to somebody in London with a phone. He said, right, Exeter. The Exeter's got X amount, 200,000. We need 300,000 residents. Oh, let's just expand it a little bit. Mr. Man in London, can we, we've expanded a bit more. Can we get that? Yeah. And that happens 3 times. Oh, don't worry about Devon, the rest of it. We'll just shove that out of the way. And bear with me. Ottery, St. Mary, what's the other one? Something Hill?
West Hill.
West Hill. Let's divide them in half. Right, why? Ottery, St. Mary's going to provide the extra amount of money. West Hill's quite posh. But there's a older generation in there. Ooh, let's look at the future. We don't want that because we
West
have to pay
Hill
for
is right adjacent to Ottery St. Mary.
Yeah, let's draw a line in the middle.
Yeah.
But
We don't want to
they've
draw.
done
What
the
sense does that
same.
make?
They've done the same where Dawlish actually falls under Exeter, but Teignmouth falls under Torbay, and they work together. Torbay and Teignmouth.
What do you
Going
think
off the
is the
subject a
reason
bit, aren't we?
Well,
for that? Is
but
it,
this is what's happening with LGR.
Right, let's go back to,
All right, back
to
to
where we
that.
are.
I forget LGR.
So, the best part of the job.
For me, getting out there and just working with the community.
Nicholas?
Helping people, supporting them, and I like going to the schools. I like try and give them a little bit of education when I go and have a chat with them. It's quite nice, so they see this media cover of what we're like, and then when they meet us, they see we are nice, normal people. And I think when I left the various schools, they probably saw a different view.
that
Is it
makes
me,
sense.
is it?
Yeah, it's you, Tony.
All right, yeah. Well, our mine's quite easy, really. I mean, going to Exwick Fete, like I say, on Saturday, and seeing how the money I gave in the locality grant, how it benefited so many organisations and groups. I could never sort of argue with that, and getting some wins where a resident gets something, you get something sorted for them, you get a road done,
Yeah.
you get a
Amen.
bin emptied, silly things like that. It all counts.
What about that road that you just was just repaved? Tell us about that.
Oh no, that was Isleworth Road.
yeah.
So
Yeah.
that,
Well, you
that
worked
was
on that
one
for a while, didn't
was
you?
one of the worst roads in Exeter, and when I inherited that road, and I just looked at it and we thought we've
Yeah,
got to
gotta
get
do
it sorted.
something.
Lucky enough, when Devon got the budget in, we were in there.
Good
as well as
show.
pestering them for about 6 months before. I think they just wanted to get us out of the office,
Oh, that's
stop the
fantastic.
emails, and you're now looking at one of the best roads.
That's a great example. Neil?
Yeah, well, as I said, I've been dealing with a couple of more than one SEND case, and they seem to be coming in. I am not the SEND specialist, and I don't pretend to be. And the officers in Devon County Council have been very, very helpful to me. And maybe I have rattled a few cages. Okay, but that's where I am. But what the best thing about the job is, a young lady, and I can't mention names, wrote to me the other day. She said, out of all the people, and I'm not going to be politics in here, I'm not talking about the local MP because I'm not allowed to, right? But out of the only people, you're the only one who's actually cared. And we got a result, Rob.
Yeah.
But it wasn't about the result. It's what she said. She sent an email, and I showed my wife this email. She goes, "Thank you for what you've done. I will never forget."
Isn't that great?
Now, out of everything
Yeah.
I've done, I don't really care. But that young man now has been sorted out. It's not
Yeah.
finished, but I will never forget. So that, to me, out of a year of doing something, means more than anything.
Yeah. Well, this is your home. It's been your home for, 60 years, you and Tony. You care about your home, and you know a lot of people, and
Well,
that's a
I
great
wouldn't say
story.
I care about me, I care about people. And some people say, and you said that tonight, Rob, the problem with you is you're soft.
I did say that you were a softy, yeah.
But you don't know
Results
me, Rob,
matter, Neil, okay?
and you don't
But
want
you are a
my old
softy.
Neil back in the room. Show me. Okay, let's skip on. Tony knows my old Neil, and I've
We'll talk
changed.
about that subject another
What's
time.
next?
I don't know. You got
Biggest challenge.
community projects, no public transport.
I'll give you one. LGR. What do you know about LGR? We have to wrap it in a minute. What do you two councillors know of LGR?
And how it affects you and your wards.
We know it's going to affect us a lot. We don't even know what our ward boundaries are going to be yet.
Do we know when those are going to be, Tony?
13th of August.
Yeah,
I think it is,
13th of August. We've got a meeting with all the councillors regarding it, and we should know by then, hopefully.
Huh. Has the Boundary Commission already sorted out the boundaries, do you think? Is that what they're going to announce?
Definitely
from our
not.
information, any boundary changes won't take into effect till 2032.
Well, then how are they going to have these new councillors elected for the
and
shadow
I suppose
cabinet?
you might
that's
find out
coming
on
up next
August.
year.
13th,
We'll find out on the
August.
13th of August what they're going to do.
Okay. So it's a bit of a mystery. Go ahead, Neil.
We've covered it twice now, the LGR, all right, and we have. But I am now on the LGR scrutiny committee. And first of all, I'm going to look at the staff of Devon County Council, all right, because they have mortgages and all that. We can go on to that. This plan is, and I'll be straight, it is, and I said that in a public area today, this is political motivated, all right? So what are we looking at? We're looking at huge changes ahead.
Yeah.
We can't even get this sorted out. Why are
No.
we changing things? Nick, you agree, Nicholas?
I agree very much, yeah.
Yeah, who's going to deliver the services? Devon County Council are involved in adult, child, but,
Well,
and they're going to
everything,
divide it all
innit?
up.
From
Yes, Rob.
highways.
Yeah, just as I said a couple podcasts ago, good example of that is Nick next and Anthony. Next time you go to the Exeter City Council building on what is it, Paris Street? Is that
Paris
right?
Street,
Power
yeah,
Street,
yeah.
Yeah, take a look at the front of the building. Take a look at that god awful bubble that they put up, made of plastic or whatever it is, and the weeds out front. They can't even get that set. You know, where they don't even have pride of where they live to make
don't
it
even
really
open
nice.
a can of worms. So,
You know,
I mean, I
well,
should
you
think-
could have a power washer, pressure washer contract to clean
I
up the
should
building
think,
on the
Rob,
outside.
that building won't stay as the council building.
I believe it's not going to
No.
now.
Exactly.
I
Well,
think
that's
it's going
because
to be
they,
student accommodation.
Student accommodation,
well,
yeah.
this is
Yeah.
for another subject, which is really interesting subject. But there's a couple of things, services, and one of the things I brought up today is about if you're going to streamline, you're going to change things. We need to make sure that children, adult, all these services are in line. Well, that ain't going to happen.
Well, we need to make sure they all transition into
Right. So-
into the new
Correct.
authority, don't we?
I will stand
Exactly.
here now and put my career on the line. They quote 70 to 80 million. Rubbish.
It's going to be a lot more.
It
than
will
that.
cost a lot more. And who's paying for it? Nicholas.
Well, all us taxpayers.
So, Tony, why are they changing it? Why? I know the answer. Why are they changing it?
Well, that's a very good question.
No, there's a simple answer. To save.
They're supposed to be doing it to save money because they say that it's far easier with the unitary where you'll all be in charge of your own money. But if it's anything like Somerset, there won't be any money left anyway. And then it's hard to say what will happen.
yeah. So,
Okay.
Tony, with the send services, correct me if I'm wrong, Devon County Council manages those services on behalf of the government, right?
Devon County Council do adult social, send, highways, all of this stuff. So I think it's April 29th of next year, the transition will happen.
Okay. So, in other words, what's going to
sorry,
happen?
28, sorry.
28,
yeah, 28.
yeah.
The transition is essentially, it will all smoothly go to
A shadow council.
not just
but-
Exeter, obviously. Torbay will take some of it. The Devon Coastal, whatever that one is, that they'll take some. Plymouth will take some. It'll all be spread around. The IT systems have all got to be compatible. That's got to be done. But the most important thing is that Neil said, the children and the adults have to be sort of done quite smoothly so that it doesn't affect them.
Okay. So, you're telling me that the send service that Devon County Council provides for the whole county now is going to be split up into different.
It'll be
So
split up
it's-
to whichever
So, if
unitary
four
authority
services,
comes into that
four
area.
services are going to have to be administered instead of one service.
Yes.
What sense does that make?
I don't know. I'm not for LGR, but then, I've said it's out of our hands. It's come from government up there. It is politically motivated. I don't care what anybody says.
Okay.
And it's a land grab.
Thank you very much. Neil, we need to wrap this up.
Yeah, we're going to wrap this up. So
what do you
why
think?
are we discussing it? And I don't want to put anybody off, guys. We are now in the campaign mode. And the reason I say we're in the campaign mode, if you notice, Labour are walking around all our areas. They've upped it and all these other parties.
Well, it's the same street basically every week.
Well, I don't-
okay.
yeah. I seem to be, I average
It's the same
35
photograph. Look at that.
They're all going by your house, Neil.
Yeah.
I seem to average 35 emails, but now I average a little bit more because these individuals, and let's not talk about the party, they're sending me emails, thanks, because I'm dealing with them. You can send me 100 a day. I will stay up till 3 o'clock in the morning. But this is basically the start of a campaign, and it is neutral. We don't have any, but we've invited you because we're all going to work together now, right? It's not about Exeter and Devon Council. It's about the people and the councillors working together. And I have to admit, I have to be straightforward. I don't lie. Councillor Harding, really good. Yeah. And some of the other councillors are starting to write to me, but I do question why they're writing to me. And I think because there's a possible election coming in. So we are looking for supporters. We're looking people to support this campaign. We're looking for potential candidates. Right, we can sit here all day and talk and talk and talk. I love this job. It's like a drug. Would you like it because you're helping people?
Yeah.
If you want to help people, right, you need to start putting your foot forward. Sit in your seat. I have to be careful what I say. I have to round it up because I get very passionate, as you know, Nicholas.
Okay, Neil. Hey,
That's
tell
right.
us what's coming on next week, okay, and maybe the week after.
Okay, next week we've got back to the
Torbay
heart.
Hospital, isn't it?
Yeah, Torbay Hospital. Okay, she is coming back on to give her presentation. We did that this
Is it
week.
Kathy, is that her name?
No,
Sue, isn't it?
It's Susie.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Thanks very
she's
much.
coming back on. She gave a presentation to us. We've got
She was great.
the week after. We've got Fat Checker coming back on. He's given a real dive into your accounts, and we've got more people coming on. But the
Well, we've got
invitation-
Dryden Road coming up, don't we? Don't we have Dryden Road coming up?
Dryden Road.
Okay.
That's
That is,
another show.
That's
we're,
after the whole
we're in
campaign.
sort of
Right,
whatever.
before I know you want to go, guys. Ian, I'm going to invite you in. We are neutral, okay? Something was a motion was passed because I changed it, and now they're dragging it out and out and out.
and I think
out.
we're looking at
Surprise,
well
surprise.
into next year before they even do anything.
But the vote,
Yeah, well, you're
even
talking
though,
about
even though
Dryden Road.
2,500 people want to put it back, it wasn't a referendum. I totally agree. But why aren't you listening to the people? That's what I don't understand.
It's
There's
more money spent.
Yeah, there's more to say. And the bottom line is, I'm going to pass you back to Rob. Thank you for watching. I know we waffle. I would like ladies on here. I would like as many people to come on, and I would like the opposition to come on. So Phil Bialik, the invitation is there.
I did put an invitation out for Phil, and if you feel at any stage you want to reply,
Or pour on it.
Please do so.
Not pour on it. Pour not.
I don't think he'll reply.
Yeah, anybody. Okay.
Okay, Neil, what's the last word? You get the last word tonight. How's that?
I just want to thank both of you two
Thank you
Exeter
very much.
councillors. We're going to have a relationship, not like
You're
that.
welcome.
But we're going to work together. We're going to start doing our campaign. You're going to get leaflets delivered to your door. That's not about the next election. About what we do for you.
Exactly. Neil, thanks for hosting this podcast tonight. And Tony, thanks for coming on.
Nice to be here.
And Nick, look forward to having you back again.
Thank you for inviting me.
Yeah.
I will come back.
Congratulations on your May election.
Thank you.
Yeah. And Anthony, thanks for coming on. And
No,
congratulations
thanks for
to you
having
as
me.
well.
I'm pleased you
Yeah.
decided to pluck up the courage.
Have you
to
enjoyed
sit
it?
down.
I've enjoyed every minute of it.
And it's been
relaxing.
nice
Yeah.
having you this
Yeah.
side.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, thanks, guys, for watching episode 57. And we'll be back same time next week, streaming live from Exeter, from our secret underground
Secret
bunker.
underground bunker.
Thanks again.
Is it okay?
Respect the place that you call home.